YouTube? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, Carl's Kicks. Thank you for joining me for another video. This video is going to be a little different. So right now, about the RESHOEVN8R kit. Been seeing a lot of different videos, so I want to do one if RESHOEVN8R works. So, bought the RESHOEVN8R kit. This is the cleaning towel. The towel you see here is the cleaning mat. You put your shoes on this to clean it. We got the pods. That's if you throw them in the washing machine. Now these didn't come with the kit. You have to buy these separately, but this is the stain and water repellent spray. They changed up the look of the things. This is one of the brushes, a soft brush. I'll probably be using that brush. I'll keep that out. These are the cleaning solutions. My pack came with two because I got a certain pack. This is the bag. You know, if you throw your shoes in a washing machine, you use that. Sneaker wipes. Show you guys this. Just some sneaker wipes. Two other brushes. So this is the soft brush. This is the stiff brush. This is the medium brush. And then we got shoe trees. Okay. So let me go ahead and move this in the middle of the camera. So this is the RESHOEVN8R collapsible bowl. It looks a lot bigger in the pictures, but this is the bowl. So now with the product, it says, this one is all shook up. Let me read the other one. So is this one. Okay, so fill the collapsible bowl with 4 ounces of water. Check. Did that. 4 ounces of water is 8 tablespoons. So filled it up with 8 tablespoons. Maybe 8.5 because I spilled a little bit. So fill that bowl up with 4 ounces of water. It says add a small amount of RESHOEVN8R cleaning solution. Doesn't say what a small amount is, so I just kind of did some drips, and then I'm like, nah, this isn't enough, so I just squeezed it a couple times. So that's what I did. You got a better method, let me know. Okay, it says add a now it says dip the appropriate brush into the mixture and scrub shoe, creating a lather. If needed, repeat previous steps until desired results. Wipe shoe with clean towel and air dry. So now this shoe, you know, I wouldn't throw this one in the washing machine. Maybe like a Yeezy or a shoe that's all fabric. You know, mainly I've had these shoes since 2017. These are the Bread 13s. So let me get a little closer in there. So you can see this shoe, I wear this shoe, it's 3 years old. It's not in bad shape. I still have the plastic on here. I usually wipe down my shoes and clean them after I wear them. So this shoe is really not in bad shape. But, you know, that red is kind of dirty. And you can see where I've kind of cleaned it with, you know, a towel and soap and water. And there's a little dirt on the shoe, so I thought that'd be good. To use these as my first ones. My first shoe that I've tried to clean with this product. So you can see we got dirt, and you know, it's not, sure it's not in perfect condition. It's 3 years old. So what I'll probably do is I'll clean this shoe in front of you guys. Actually, let me move my camera a little closer. So I'll clean this shoe in front of you guys, and then I'll probably add something to the video, come back and show you the end result so you can kind of see the before. And so we'll start with the left shoe. So we're going to dip it in here, get it louder. Now I will say the repellent works pretty good. Now on the directions of this repellent, let me actually, so clean and dry materials prior to applying repellent. In a well-ventilated area, hold can upright and apply even coat 6 to 8 inches away from the surface. Allow 15 minutes to dry. So, it doesn't say how many sprays you can get out of the shoe. I used this on 2 shoes, and I did it, you know, very light coats. But I feel like you're going to have to do a couple coats on that just to hit everything. Because I did 1 coat, you know, I thought I did pretty good. I poured some water on it just to try it. Maybe I'll do that video for you guys next. But it did work, but on some spots where I believe I hit, it didn't work. So I think that you need to do that a couple times. So I don't know how many, you know, shoes you're going to be able to do with this spray, especially with those directions. You know, you try to be modest with the spray, not to use it all up on one, but it seems like you need a lot more than, you know, what they suggest. But anyway, and those are about 20 bucks a piece, those cans. Okay, so anyway, so we're just going to scrub the shoe until we get a nice lather. Now again, this is a soft brush. I didn't want to use, you know, the heavy one because this is suede. I'm going to dip it back in there. Seems like it's getting a little dry. So we're getting a good lather kind of all over the shoe. Now I wasn't too much worried about the black part up here, but I might as well just hit that since I'm doing this anyway. Now it says, you know, repeat this process if needed. I'm only going to do this one time. You know, they weren't that dirty. I didn't clean them the last time I wore them. But I usually, you know, after I take off my shoes, I usually clean them pretty well. I try to. But I am going to go ahead and hit this top part. Why not? Since, you know, we're doing this. And let's just see. That part lathered up actually really good. One thing about these brushes, do this in an area where, you know, you're not too confined, because this stuff definitely does spread. Kind of, you know, water goes everywhere, kind of like when you washing dishes. Okay, so first shoe clean. Hopefully, now it does say, you know, take your towel, comes with one, you know, wipe the shoe down. So let's wipe it down. I'm actually just going to kind of pat it down. Let's see if we get any bleeding from this red or anything of that sort. Okay, so here's a spot I would like to see if, you see that? I'd like to see if I can get that a little cleaner. Even, well, that's not too bad, but you can see that spot right there. So I'm gonna see if I can get that a little better, actually. And maybe even right here on the other side, right in, you know, in between. Now I'm not really applying a lot of pressure to this. I'm kind of just holding and moving my hand, not pressing down hard on it. I think if you want to, you know, you need something harder to scrub, you just go up, you know, on the brush, on the brushes. This is a soft one. It comes with a medium one and a heavy one, if that's what they call it. Now, I think I do see a little red in there. So, That's one reason I'm not going to press too hard on this shoe, and let's see what the result is of. So, it's a little better, definitely. We'll definitely be able to tell, I think, better once it dries, but I think it took that spot away pretty good. Check in my inside on the other side. Now, I really didn't hit right there. You can see it's kind of a spot there, but that is on the bottom of the shoe. Let's just hit it. Okay, so now this is the first one. Let's jump to the second one. And again, if this shoe is not dry, by the time I finish that second one, I will just put that dry product in the video. So you'll get to see that. So, I mean, it's really not too fair to do a comparison because this one is wet. So that red looks really good on camera. It's actually like blood red here now because it's wet. But you can see the difference in the red. Now this one is wet, so let's not, you know, on the camera it looks really good, but in person it's, you can tell it's wet. It's really dark red. So you can see the differences in the red. But we're gonna let that one air dry. Now usually what I would like to see if any red comes out on my fingers when doing this. And it didn't. Just soap, so no red. I just wanted to see if this soap or whatever or the water was making it bleed, but no red came out on the brush. But as I'm drying my towel though, I see some red spots, which is probably natural. I mean, you know, these colors are just dyed. Let's see that red spot there? These colors just dyed in the shoe. So if you are gonna clean your shoes, don't go too crazy scrubbing them and everything like that. Okay, so let's jump into the second one. And I'll probably suggest that, you know, make sure you clean this brush afterwards, after you use it on a certain shoe, especially if you're using on a red shoe like this. You don't want to, you know, throw this brush back in a box, use it on a green shoe, and then you get red and green, which I think is maybe yellow, then you turn your shoes yellow. We don't want that. So I'll probably suggest, you know, taking this brush and rinsing it in some water. I don't know if you want to use hot, cold, probably doesn't matter. But I'll definitely probably rinse it in some water before I use it on my next shoe. Now I've heard good things about this RESHOEVN8R, but mostly it's the repellent. I've seen those videos. I kind of want to do some videos of my own. Actually have, you know, a shoe that I'll go ahead and mess up. Well, it shouldn't mess up if the stuff works, but I'll go ahead and throw some ketchup or barbecue sauce or something on it because it's an older shoe. I don't really care about it. So I'll probably do one of those videos next, depending on, you know, if you guys want to see that or if I even want to do that. So this stuff lathers up pretty good. Now, like, you know, it says a small amount. When I first started, I just was putting drops in, and then I kind of squeezed the bottle twice. I think that, you know, we all got common sense, so I think that we can all determine what's a good ounce of this cleaner solution to put into 4 ounces of water. So it's not that much water, so you definitely don't want to have 4 ounces of solution or 4 ounces of water. It's probably a waste. And, you know, after you clean the shoe, you probably want to dispose of that water anyway and start new if you want to clean multiple shoes, unless, you know, they're the same colors. I wouldn't trust using this solution on another shoe just because of the dye. Might as well hit the tongue too. I'm not gonna do any of this middle part. This part is pretty legit already. But okay, so I think that's good. Let's wipe it down. And now we let it air dry. So yeah, and you can see the red on here. Now it says with this towel, it has directions on washing this thing, so let me go see if I can find that box really quick. And again, this is just a regular microfiber towel with RESHOEVN8R's name on it, so you know you can get these things anywhere. Walmart has the 10-pack for $9.99 or something like that. So here's our second one. So now these things are going to air dry, and I'm basically going to come back to you once it's done. But first I would like to go find that box for this towel. So bear with me for a second. Okay, so now this is the box for the cleaning mat, but it says the same thing on the box for the towel. I couldn't find that one. I might have disposed of it. But it says, you know, directions after use: machine wash separately with warm water, tumble dry low. So I'm taking it, it's going to be the same thing for this. So definitely need to clean this thing after that. And we'll be back. Okay, so I am back. The shoes are completely dry now, and from what I can tell is I mean, yeah, they definitely are cleaner. I just don't think the suede looks as new as it once was. This one is actually a little damp on this side. So actually, the shoe still feels a little damp, but not a lot. So I'll go ahead and basically show you what I got here. It cleaned out pretty good in the corners. I also, you know, cleaned the bottoms of them. They came pretty clean. The shoe was still a little damp, actually. So, this is probably about 90% dry, I feel like. But for the most part, I mean, I like the product. These shoes weren't super dirty where it was like, and you can kind of see some of that wetness there. So the top of it is mostly dry. And I mean, it's this suede stuff. So I mean, so shoe is 3 years old. It's in really good shape. I really like what it did with the tongue. The tongue wasn't really, you know, too dirty though. But it really cleaned the tongue well. It cleaned this upper part well on the shoe as well. Like I said, with these suedes, they're just so, you know, iffy. I cleaned up here as well. You can kind of still see some spots where it's a little wet. But my thing with this shoe is, you know, I only clean this if I have to, because we all know what suede does and what it is. And I just feel like you play with suede too much and you wipe it too much, you kind of just mess it up, and it's never the same as when it first was. And, you know, and this isn't the best materials, you know. So Here's the back. I feel like, I mean, it's good, you know, but before I'd even get to the point of cleaning a shoe, I just make sure I put that protectant on there, so maybe you won't have to do that. This part here, you know, it's just from cleaning it so much. It's a little lighter, I feel like, right here. But I don't think it's 100% dry. But do I think the stuff works? Yes. I mean, I can see where it was some dirt in the shoe and I cleaned it off with that stuff. I personally think that if you're going to use one of these brushes to clean a shoe, it probably should be a leather shoe. Unless you have a suede shoe and it's just literally beat to shit where it's like super dirty and you have to scrub it to get it clean, okay. But if you got a shoe like this, you know, I put the protectant on it, keep it protected, and if it gets super dirty and you have to, you know, end up scrubbing and clean it, I'll probably do the scrubbing thing, throw it in the wash. You know, that's extreme. This shoe, like I said, is 3 years old. I've kept it pretty clean. It's still a clean looking shoe. I probably wouldn't worry about scrubbing this thing with a shoe. I'll probably just wipe it with a, you know, microfiber towel or something like that, just because of this material. I'm not a fan of scrubbing with this suede material. I just feel like it looks like it scratched it up a little bit. I mean, the shoe was already kind of rough from me, you know, cleaning it with a washcloth over the years. But again, I mean, the shoe is not bad. It's a good looking shoe. You know, it's like I said, I had it 3 years. I wear it a lot. But, you know, the wear and tear on the shoe is very minimal. You know, you can see some crease in there, a little bit here. Bottoms, you know, it's not like they're worn out. I don't wear them every day all the time. But about all the shoes I have, I definitely wear these the most. Love these shoes. So I do think the RESHOEVN8R works. I just be careful on what shoe you use it with. And even, you know, with this brush, you know, if the shoe is not super dirty, like, you know, these weren't that dirty, I still use a solution, and maybe I use a rag to clean the shoe. Just something a little softer, you know, than these brushes. Because, yeah, this is a soft brush, but on a soft material, it's not that soft. Suede is a lot softer than these bristles, and I'm taking it as probably a horsehair, you know, brush. So again, I just stick to this brush, you know, in the leather shoes where, you know, this brush isn't gonna really, you know, mess up the leather. You know, I feel like this brush will scratch up the suede. So that's my opinion. And unless unless the shoe was just totally drenched in mud, it's stained up, and you're gonna have to get in there and scrub. But, you know, try to keep the shoe at a minimum dirty level, and that way your cleaning will be minimum. That's usually how I try to do it. But the stuff works, and yep, that's it. So I mean, comment if you got any questions. Have you used RESHOEVN8R before? I mean, RESHOEVN8R before. You know, let me know what you thought about the video, and I will be putting up one with the stain and water repellent one. I'll be putting a video up with that. I do actually like that product a lot, which again, that is this stuff here. I think it's about 20 bucks a can. So far, I'm happy with what I've seen with this. Like I say, I've used it and I put some water on the shoe, but I'm gonna go ahead and spray a shoe down, and we're gonna take it to another level, not just water, because when you're wearing your shoes, water is not the only thing you have to worry about. So thank you all for tuning in, and again, we out of here.